Hi, this is Professor R.M. Mahendrakar from JSS Arts, Science and Commerce College, Goka. I thank you all for the responses you have sent to the test conducted. Today, we'll be discussing about another climatic factor, that is temperature. Temperature is a variable factor which is influenced by time, season, latitude, altitude, slope, direction, soil texture, plant cover, and human activities like urbanization and industrialization. It penetrates every region of the biosphere and profoundly influences all form of life by exerting its action through increasing and decreasing some of the vital activities such as the metabolism, reproduction, behavior, embryonic development, and growth. Temperature is a measure of intensity of heat. In terms of standard unit, it is commonly expressed as a degree either in Fahrenheit or Celsius scale. Heat is a form of energy called thermal energy. Thermal energy is exchanged between animals and environment by radiation, conduction, convection, and evaporation. These four basic modes of transfer of heat energy occurs within the organism and in the interface between the organisms and their environment. The total amount of heat entering the biosphere from the sun is balanced by the amount of heat lost per unit time. The estimate of thermal energy flow in the biosphere is referred as the heat budget. The most influential factor in the climate are temperature and moisture. Temperature affects the vegetation either directly or indirectly. Directly, it affects the plants in two ways. One, it affects the physiological processes of the plant and consequently their growth and size. Because temperature is one of the most important factor. Because all the activities of the organisms are influenced by enzymes, and enzymes are heat sensitive. They all function at a particular temperature. And these enzymes and hormones actually are influencing the total growth and development of the organism. Thus, temperature plays an important role in affecting the physiological processes of all the organisms. It determines which species can survive in a particular region. Because depending upon the intensity of the heat, the plants have modified themselves to suit to that particular climatic conditions. Thus, temperature influences which species can survive in a particular region. Now, in the image at the left hand side, you can see the temperature around 70 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. It promotes vegetative growth in these plants. And when the temperature is between 65 to 80, it promotes flowering in the plants. This is one of the example how the temperature influences the physiological processes in plants. According to the heat requirement of the plants, Ronquier divided the gross vegetation into the following types. First one, the megatherms. These are the plants of warm habitat, which require high degree of heat throughout the year because they are modified themselves to sustain the high temperature. They are found in areas with tropical climate, especially the desert plants, as you can see in this image here.
The second are mesotherms. These are the plants of habitat which is neither very hot nor very cold. These plants cannot withstand extremely high or extremely low temperatures, and they are found in tropical and subtropical habitats. So what are the vegetations we see here? The evergreen forests, the dry deciduous forests, these are the examples for these mesotherms. Microtherms. These are the plants of cold or temperate habitat and require low temperature for their growth. Such plants cannot tolerate high temperature. They may be also found in tropical and subtropical regions but at higher altitudes. They are very commonly seen in temperate regions. Hycistotherms. These are the plants of cold and alpine regions where it is always cold throughout the year. They do not thrive well in heat and can withstand long and very severe winter. Even during the snowy conditions, when the whole vegetation is covered with snow, they have modified themselves physiologically to withstand this cold temperature. So such vegetation which grow in extremely cold conditions throughout the year, these are called as caistotherms.
Many plants are very sensitive to temperature. The sudden fall in temperature is injurious because plant tissues are badly affected by it. Forests suffer from frost during the night. As an adaptation against frost, the starch of the plant changes to fats or oils in the autumn. The fatty oil depresses the freezing point and thus increases the power of resistance in the plants against frost. Hence, the leaves of plants in the cold conditions store fats. The plants growing in hot conditions store pentosan's, mucilage, and pectic substances which have high water retaining power, uh, and because of this, the desiccation of the plant is prohibited. They decrease the danger of plants from desiccation and consequent death. The temperature stimulates the growth of seedlings. The optimum temperature for seed germination ranges between 20 degrees Celsius and 27 degrees Celsius.
The absorption rate is retarded at low temperatures because plants can absorb only liquid water. And when the temperatures are low, the enzymatic activities of the root are slowed down and thus it affects the rate of absorption. Thus, low temperature retards the absorption rate of the plants. Photosynthesis operates over a wide range of temperature. Most of the algae require lower temperature range for photosynthesis than the higher plants. The photosynthesis continue even at 80 degrees Celsius in some desert plants. The rate of respiration increases with increase of temperature up to a certain level. Beyond the optimum limit, the enzymes become denatured and hence the metabolic activities are slowed down and there is a marked decrease in the metabolic rate of the organism. The rate of respiration becomes double at the increase of 10 degrees Celsius above the optimum temperature provided other factors are favorable. This we call it as Van Hoff's law. High temperature gradually favors the growth of plants, but for some crop plants, low temperature is beneficial. If the temperature range of winter varieties are lowered up to 0 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius, the seed sown in the spring will grow luxuriantly and the plant will mature and flower at normal time. This process by which the temperature range of the plant is lowered in order to get early crop is called vernalization. This is commonly practiced in cold countries.
Temperature determines the growth of many plants. Cotton prefer high temperature. Potato gives highest yield in low summer temperatures. Growth of plant is retarded at high temperature. The temperature in combination with humidity and other factors help in the spread of diseases in plants. Low temperature and high humidity favors rust attack. Now here you can see this is a wheat rust, this is a cereal rust, and this is the orange rust caused in raspberry plants. Low temperature, high humidity, and cloudy weather favors damping of seedling blight, foot rot, and root rot diseases in cucumber, tobacco, papaya, and ginger. Now here you can see this is an image showing you the damping of disease in cucumber. This is the seedling rot in corn plants, and this is the foot rot disease in papaya. Now here these are the images of the root rot disease of cucumber plant and the root rot disease of the ginger plant. Let us now study about the temperature fluctuation in aquatic environment. Temperature fluctuations are less in aquatic environment than in terrestrial one. The increase in the depth of aquatic medium increases the temperature fluctuation. Minimum temperature of sea may be -3 degrees Celsius, while the temperature of freshwater pond never goes below 0 degrees Celsius. The maximum temperature of ocean generally reaches up to 36 degrees Celsius, but it may go much higher in freshwater ponds and pools. In deep water bodies, water heating or cooling is restricted to the surface layer, but deeper layers may also get heated or cooled as a result of vertical circulation, wherein surface water is brought to the deeper regions and vice versa. Studies about the vertical fluctuation of temperature have led to the hypothetical classification of freshwater media into the following layers: the epilimnion, the metalimnion, and the hypolimnion.
Now here you can see this is a section of a water body. Now the topmost layer is the epilimnion. In this superficial layer of water body, water which is constantly stirred by wind and is a layer of warmer water. So the temperature of epilimnion is always warm in the flowing water conditions. The next layer is the metalimnion. Metalimnion is also known as thermocline. This is the intermediate zone between the upper and bottom layer of water bodies. This layer shows vertical temperature change. The lowest region is the hypolimnion. This is the bottom layer of stagnant water with little or no fluctuation in temperature. The process of differentiation of freshwater habitat on the basis of vertical change of temperature into three strata is referred to as the thermal stratification.
Thus, the temperature varies from place to place, and likewise, the vegetation of different areas also differ considerably. Desert plants grow in extreme heat conditions. Aquatic plants grow in low temperature range, and grasses prefer to grow in the area of moderate temperature. Temperature in combination with moisture determines the general distribution of vegetation. Thus, we see that the vegetation differs from the northern, southern, tropical, and temperate regions. And thus we have the northern, southern, tropical, and temperate vegetation. And all these vegetations depend solely upon the temperature and moisture. Thank you. Wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves and be safe. Once again, thank you all.